Hi everybody, Saturday night, O.G.I.C. Hope everybody had a great Halloween. We had a good Halloween. I made up a big pot of chili, made some delicious cornbread, and we watched a couple of, semi-scary movies. They weren't, they weren't horrible. So, here's my own. Yep, go on, Chumley.
Come on, Chumley. This way.
Go this way. Come on.
Chumley,
Come here. Here.
Come here.
There. Look.
Come
see?
here.
Look. Look right there.
Chumley, come.
So we kind of got the, like I said before, I think the way I have to set up in here for when I do this live stream. Anyway, it makes kind of a weird path for the dogs to have to come through.
Janice and cereal pile.
Hi Sam. Hi Janice. Glad you two are here. I bid you welcome. Saturday night. Appreciate you spending some time with me. Getting ready to cook up some food. I decided that since none of this is going to seem to take very terribly long, I might throw in making some puff pastry desserts. I've already got the puff pastry mostly made. Have to roll it out a final time, but I got some fresh raspberry filling, so I'm thinking like some raspberry turnovers for dessert. We'll see if I can squeak that in. I'm pretty sure I can. But, Mrs. Old Guy is letting four-legged critters in. Uh-oh, he barked. Now she's going to want to go right back outside. Oh, hi, Polly. I don't know, is she photobombing? I think she's photobombing for
Not
your
quite.
kids.
Not quite.
No, not Bob.
big enough.
No. When Chumley was up there, we could see him. I was hoping maybe. But,
Color towards you, maybe.
yeah, that's okay.
There she is.
Anyway.
She's there.
She's there. Okay. So anyway, I guess I should get started. Just because the polenta doesn't take a long time to cook, it just takes a while for it to cool down, and so I want to be ready on that regard. So I made this once before, and I think I mentioned that you could use, last time I used water, you can use different kinds of stock, like vegetable stock or chicken stock, beef stock, mushroom, whatever you like. So I thought I'd switch it up a little bit this time. I've got some chicken stock here. I got a cup of chicken stock. To that, I'm going to add my blue corn. And it's going to only take about 3 nice tablespoons, a little bit heaping. A little bit heaping. Stir that in. Whoop. Let's get the spoon off the burner. Let's do this in real quick. It'll start to thicken relatively fast. And one more thing, let me add some, where did I put it? Right there. A little bit of dried onion. Just a little bit. Not quite a tablespoon, I don't think, maybe a half. Okay. We'll let that kind of do its thing. If you've ever made cream of wheat cereal, it's almost exactly like this. Like that. It just, you start to stir it up, cook it over a medium heat, and before you know it, it gets thick. So, and tonight I'm going to add cheddar cheese, mozzarella. Last time I added cheddar, tonight I'll add mozzarella. Alright. So, did you have a good Halloween, Sam? I don't know what, if candy, if you give out candy at Halloween and whatever. I'm not sure what all the traditions are in Mexico. I know it's a huge celebration. I've seen like really cool videos of some of the parades and so forth, and the big like, I don't know what you call them, but, you know, like a giant skull or something. Pretty cool.
Eli, sir.
Hey, Eli. Welcome, sir. I clicked my heels, but all it did is, like, you know, click my ankles, and that kind of hurt. Just getting the blue corn polenta going here, Eli. Getting this ready to go with the, have this as a side with the pork chops. And I told Janice and Sam a little while ago that I'm going to do some raspberry turnovers. So that's coming up here in a little while. Yum, yum.
Should be really good.
Oh, it should be delicious. Oh. Up there, Paul. You can see her up there. This is old guy. You know, when the time comes. Saw her up there last
Yeah,
time?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's throwing in there.
Crazy kids. They hear any little sound,
There she
and yeah.
is. Kind of. She's right on
Right on the edge of being seen.
the edge.
My crazy kids. Okay, see, now we're starting to get warm and it's starting to thicken up a little bit. Like I said, if you've ever had cream of wheat, it's kind of like that. And kind of the more you cook it, stir it around, the creamier and thicker it gets. You want it pretty thick. At least for this particular type of polenta. Other types, I imagine you'd want it kind of soft. All right. Okay. Let that go here another minute. It's getting there. I'd like to show you here. I don't know how well you can see in the light. It makes it kind of a cool purple color. I really like using the blue corn over the yellow corn. I think that it just makes a creamier texture. I don't know if it really does or not, but that's just how it seems to me. Regular yellow corn or white corn can have still kind of a little bit of a grainy kind of texture to it. All right, it's pretty thick. Let's get some cheese in it. A little mozzarella this time. Any kind of firm cheese is awesome in here. Blue cheese crumbles, anything that will firm back up after it's chilled. Stuff like the real soft cheeses like brie and it's not going to come to me, but some of the other like real soft cheeses, they're not going to work. Hey,
The dad cave is here.
Dad Cave is here. Hey, guy. Welcome. I'm just whipping out a little blue cheese, blue corn polenta. Putting a little, just got it cooked and thickened. Right here. I was explaining that it's like cream of wheat or grits. So I'm just going to put my cheese in here. Stir it in until it melts down. And then we'll get into making the pork chops. And Mrs. Old Guy showed me this recipe, and I thought, well, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. All right.
John's here.
Hi, John. Welcome to the madness. No, really, I'm glad that you all are going to spend a little time with Old Guy on Saturday night. That's awesome. And as always, I've got to say hi to my brother Doug and to Shar. Hi, guys. Hope your Saturday night is good. Gonna get this poured out and hand it over to Mrs. Old Guy. And normal circumstances, or if you have time, you would want to stick this in the fridge till it firms up, but popping it in the freezer will also work. You want it to be firmed up, so I'm just going to spread it out here. You want it at least 3/4 of an inch thick. I wouldn't go too much thinner than that, or much thicker than an inch. So just right in there, there's kind of a sweet spot. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. There you go, Miss Old Guy. Let me get a taste of that. Mmm. Oh yeah. That's delicious. Sorry about that, folks, but that's one thing about that polenta. If you don't give it a little bit of water, if you don't wash it right away, it's going to be like wallpaper paste, stuck, glued, permanently attached. Okay, that was an exaggeration. So first, with these pork chops, I'm just going to go off the recipe that we pulled offline here. So it starts with a 1/2 cup of ketchup. So I'm going to grab one of these little bowls here. And I'll search somewhere in this vast wilderness of a refrigerator for the ketchup. I try to have this stuff at least reasonably in sight. No, sorry about that. I hate to get out of sight, but I can't see it. It's got to be in here. I'm here. Let's see. Where is it? It's got to be ketchup. I'm here, folks. I can't believe it.
I'm
There
not
it is.
sure where it's at.
Okay. Ugh. Ta-da! At long last, the notorious lost ketchup.
John says that he's ghost hunting and watching you at the same time.
Ghost hunting, John, huh? Cool. What are you going to do with them if you catch them? That's what I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know what John's going to do with the ghosts.
And Janice wants to know where he's ghost hunting at.
That too. That's a good question also. All right. So calls for a 1/2 catch of this cup. 1/2 cup of ketchup. What do I do with the measuring cups? I guess I left them over there. Well, it's been one of those days, guys. I've been running a marathon. Okay, now I've got everything I could use. Extra tablespoons. Okay, 1/2 cup ketchup. Okay, just want to get this sauce made first, and then the chops aren't going to take too long at all. And let's see here. It's a new This is a new honey, so I have to pull it off. Don't normally get the store-bought honey. There's a local farmer that we get our honey from, but they haven't spun this year's honey yet, so had to get a little bottle of this, and that's okay.
John's ghost hunting out at Mount Shasta.
Mount Shasta. Well, I didn't know that Mount Shasta was known for ghosts. Learn something new every day. Ghost hunting in Mount Shasta. Have any particular kind of equipment with you, John? You know, what do you ghost hunt with? I mean, you're actually just looking for ghosts. You're not actually hunting them. It's not like you could kill them. So ghost hunting, I guess you call it that. I'm just kind of being mean. Pulling your leg there, John. I do want to know though what you're taking with you to ghost hunt. All right.
Jana says she thought that Mount Shasta was more of a Sasquatch location.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that 100%. Now that I'd like to see. A little Sasquatch.
He's got a little EVP scanner.
Ah, EVP. All right, every other kind of bottle. There it is. EVP scanner. Cool. No photography equipment or anything. Take some pictures. Couple tablespoons of soy, it says now. 2 2/3 tablespoon of honey. Half a cup of ketchup. Couple tablespoons of soy. Now I want some garlic. Some garlic. I'll use some of the crushed garlic here. Garlic. Get it mixed up and I'll see what it tastes like. If it were my recipe, I would add sesame seed oil to this, but it's not my recipe and I want to see what it's like anyway. So. Alright. Whisk this up a little bit. I really do appreciate y'all coming on into my kitchen on Saturday nights. It was fun doing the fryer thing for a while when I first started doing my live streams. But kind of moving into the kitchen like this has been sort of nice. You know, it gives me a little more freedom to do some other stuff and do a little more like requests from folks that want to see me do certain things. So, all right.
So Janice asked, is the EVP a standalone unit or a phone app? And he said that it was an expensive Canon camera video.
Well, maybe it tastes better after it's on the meat. Yeah, I think there are a lot of things that this thing could use, but that's just me. All right. Got my old Lodge grill pan here. The recipe did call for this to be cooked on a grill outside, you know, so you can like baste it and so forth. And I will try to do that as best I can on this one, but it's too chilly to be doing live broadcasts outside anymore, or live streams. So that one gets dark way too early. That's one thing I don't like about the winter months. It gets dark way too early. And that stupid daylight savings time. Do y'all have to deal with that? I know some places don't, you know, change the time, but I'm just curious if, you know, if y'all watching have to set your time back. 'Cause that's tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is tonight.
Yeah.
So, or early tomorrow morning, depending on how you look at it.
Janice said the look on your face tells me that they don't have a good recipe.
Not really. Like I said, I'll see how it tastes after it's been grilled on. It might be better. Yeah. It's just kind of sour and a little bitter. It's not really that It's not really that great. I can taste the honey, but it's really offset by the ketchup. It just leaves kind of a weird kind of aftertaste. It's hard to explain. I think it's the vinegar in it, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And since they have daylight savings time tomorrow, the sun will go down around 5 p.m.
Yep, I hate that. I hate that. Dark at 5 o'clock. I mean, really? You know, in the summertime, it's 5 in the afternoon. You know, it's like, you know, you got to get to like 6 o'clock or so before you can really start calling it evening. You know, and then the sun's up for at least another 2 hours. I'm sorry, I'll shut up about the weather or the season. I just missed the summer already. It was a great summer. We got a lot done. You know,
Yeah.
put up a fence, built a barbecue grill. You know, just what else did we get done? Got a bunch of stuff painted on the house.
Put sod in.
Put sod, yeah. Rebuilt a gate. It was a busy summer. Oh, plus the puppies.
Yep.
Plus the puppies.
They kept us busy.
What's that?
Puppies kept us busy.
Oh yeah, and that's something really. We didn't have a summer after July 11th. So, oh, there goes the ringer. Mrs. O.G.I.C will grab it. I'm going to keep on blabbing. Got to get a little oil here. Definitely don't want to put these on dry. Just a little bit of oil in each one. Alright, turn them over. Got to do both sides. Just a little bit. If I'd have thought about it, I could have grabbed my olive oil. But I didn't think about it. That's okay. That veggie oil works just fine. A little salt and pepper on there. Alright. Get that oil off my hands. Salt and pepper. Mrs. O.G.I.C will be back in a minute. She's on the telephone, so any comment or anything we'll have to kind of catch up on. A little salt and pepper on these bad boys. These aren't very big, so they're not going to take long to cook. Turn that way down a little bit on this side. Alright, I hate it when I run out of pepper. Well, guess I gotta fill my shaker. Who do we have there, Mrs. O.G.I.C?
What?
Who is that?
Your youngest?
My son! Well, he's gonna have to wait. Tasting brush and fork. Okay, Ms. O.G.I.C, could you grab the polenta? Let's see if that's thawed or thawed. Cooled. I don't want thawed. I want cooled.
Not real cold.
Let's see. Did it firm up? Not enough yet. Yeah, I guess I might have started these chops a little bit soon. We'll see. It's the way it goes when I try to rush things, but hey, you know, that's the way it is sometimes when you try to plan something. That's okay. Let's turn these chops a little bit. Smells good anyway.
It does.
So what are y'all folks having for food on this nice Saturday night? obviously, Mrs. O.G.I.C are having this stuff. What stuff are you having? Having this stuff and that stuff. Next week, I will be getting back to the list of suggestions that folks have been giving me. I'm not sure which one I'm going to choose, but I will definitely be doing one on the list. And hopefully, again, like I said before, I'll try to get this posted a little bit sooner, and then, you know, like a day before. Sometimes I get really busy and I just kind of forget. All right.
Yeah, said they're having curry.
Curry. Yum. I think. You know, I got to be really honest with you. My experience with curry is very, very little. I've had hardly any curry. I had a curry rice once, but it was very mild. It wasn't at all hot at all. And it was just okay-ish, you know. I could taste the saffron in it. It was just, like I said, okay-ish. But I've heard that some curries can be like really hot. So, but I don't imagine that's what you're having, Janice. Since I know you're not like a person that really likes hot. Okay. So, brush a little bit of this on. Turn the heat down a little bit. And hopefully cooking will improve it. Sometimes it doesn't, though. I mean, for instance, today, I'll end up doing a video on it sometime, but I tried this new product. I just happened to see it on the store shelf. Because I really like French dip sandwiches. So I mean, even when I took my little short trip out to California 2-3 weeks ago, we went and I had to have a French dip. I was a little disappointed they didn't dip it as much as I wanted, but anyway, I saw this on the store shelf. Johnny's French dip au-jus. It's like, wow, that sounds cool. I love French dips. So I thought, I'm going to give it a try. It was like, $4 or something for the bottle. And followed the directions here, 2 to 1. 2 parts of water to 1 part of this. And you cook it for 10 minutes. And I did that, and it just tasted awful. I mean, if I could explain it, I don't know, kind of like an open cesspool next to an Indian restaurant. It just tasted awful. I got to looking at the ingredients on this thing, which is probably close to 70 or so ingredients. It doesn't have any beef on it, or in it. No beef at all. Anybody that knows anything about au-jus and French dips, you gotta have a good au-jus. Beefy, yummy, delicious au-jus. That stuff was not good at all.
Janice says that they're having a mild Japanese curry. It's different from Indian curry. She says we like that too, even though it's spicy.
Yeah, I'll have to explore that a little bit.
She has seen that au-jus.
Some curries. What's that?
She's seen that au-jus.
Oh, you've seen, well, it's not worth a darn. I'll tell you that. Don't ever get it, Janice. It's not worth it. There's not even any beef in it. I tried adding some beef base to it. That just made it worse. This stuff is no good. It's garbage, right? I'm going to take it back to the store and I'm going to get my money back on that stuff.
She says that's good to know. She'll avoid it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, well, that's, yeah, try to do a little public service here. Okay, we're starting to kind of get a little bit of coating going on here. So I hope that the polenta cools up in time, firms up in time for me to do this. If not, then I guess we'll just have to eat it tomorrow or whatever. We'll stick with pork chops tonight. It's probably not going to be much going. We'll give it another couple minutes. Chumley's here. Come here, Chumley. Come here and say hi. Come on.
Holly's like, oh, don't keep getting, I want some.
Come on. Come up and say hi. Aww. Here he is. Chumley, the wonder dog. Say hi to everybody. They smell the food, obviously, so they're in here sniffing around, looking for droppings. That's what they do. Is they, you know, they're little vacuum cleaners, right? All right. Okay, Miss Old Guy. I guess let's see what that looks like. See if I can get any kind of cut on them. They got to get pretty firmed up and pretty cool. Easy to mess up. It's all wow, yeah, that's still super wet. So, I guess we'll just have to have warm, cheesy polenta. How's that sound? Does that sound all right?
Yep.
I'm going to see if I can still get crisp on it. Pour it all in one big piece.
Val's here.
Hi, Val.
And he has to Chumley get a pork chop.
Welcome. No pork chops for Chumley. No chops for Chumley. I'm going to call these chops done, though.
Janice said that for after Thanksgiving, maybe you can make something like turkey bites. We get them from Knott's. She goes, it's like stuffing balls. It's like the stuffing balls recipe I've seen, but panko breaded and deep fried.
Huh. I might do that. It just kind of depends on whether or not we do turkey. Sometimes it's only 2 or 3 of us at our house for Thanksgiving, and so to do a whole bunch of meat, sometimes even just a turkey breast is more than we'll eat. But it does sound good. I like that video you did with those turkey bites or turkey dressing or whatever. A little cranberry inside. It looked good. Was that a bread dressing or a cornbread dressing in that? That's one of the things that I wondered. I should have just asked on the video. All right.
Crazy Dad's here.
Hey, Tim. Welcome. Welcome. And for those of you that may know, or I guess may not know, Tim, or actually Nate, won the Show-Offs Challenge last month, the Duck in the Donuts Challenge. And so he's going to get a little plaque thing made from O.G.I.C. to them, and I'll do the same thing for the winner of this next month's of this month's too. But congratulations, Tim. That's Nate did a killer job. Nobody else even came close.
Jenna said that one was a bread dressing, but she thinks a corn dressing might be better.
Oh yeah, I've had several different kinds of dressings over the years, like a cornbread or regular bread. I've had oyster stuffing. I've had some weird mixtures of corn and regular bread. And to be honest, regular bread dressing and the dressing that I grew up with, which was a pork sage dressing, those are the ones that I'm most comfortable with. Yeah, like the bread dressing that you would use maybe like on a stuffed pork chop. It's kind of funny. Growing up, my mom would make stuffed pork chops, but all it was stuffing on top of a pork chop baked in the oven. Not really stuffed, but just topped. They sure called it that.
Crazy Dad says, thanks, Tom. We appreciate it.
Well, buddy, I think y'all deserve it. That was awesome.
Val loves oyster stuffing.
Oyster stuffing. See, yeah. They're depending on the region of the country that you grew up in. People that grew up like on the coastlines and stuff. Yeah. Some kind of seafood is pretty common. Thanksgiving. Around our house it is. Here in Colorado, where there's not too many shorelines here, so more meat and taters.
Val said that his mom used to make stuffing with the turkey giblets.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah. Dykes chop them up and add them in. You bet. This may not work as well as I want it to. It's okay. As long as it warms it. Yeah, just not enough time to cook this polenta right, but I'll still get some crispy bits on it. Non-stick my butt. I'm just gonna go back to using my cast iron. These things just don't seem to cut it. They're kind of like non-stick for a couple of months, and it's just like they lose it. Just like that.
Val asked Rocky Mountain oyster stuffing.
Rocky Mountain oyster stuffing. It wouldn't surprise me if there is a recipe for that. It really wouldn't. I'm not gonna try it though. That's just, I ate them and they were okay a few months ago on that live stream, but really they didn't taste as good as I remembered they did. I think it was more of the texture than anything else. All right.
Crazy Dad says that they just posted a new show-off challenge, and well, it's going to be an interesting.
Cool. Yeah, I videoed my turkey meatball throwdown a little bit earlier today, and after the stream, I'll get that posted up and released. So, and I got some other ones coming up, some fun ones, making what do you call it? The eggnog fudge. So, that's a good video going to be coming out here pretty quick. Pretty quick. All right, let's dish up some of this here polenta. crunchy bit with it. So I just didn't have time to let this firm up properly. That's okay.
Yep. Sure it'll still taste good.
I'm sure it will. Thank you, Mrs. O.G.I.C. Make sure you get an extra little crunchy bit on the top. It's all about the crunchy bit. It's that contrast of texture. Creamy and smooth and the crunchy. Ooh. All right. Pork chop, knife, and a fork. Mrs. O.G.I.C., there you go.
Thank you. Leave that off the burner.
All right. And I guess I did grab me a fork. Set this over here. Doesn't look too bad. That polenta I don't think is going to fall off. Doesn't look too bad. And we'll see how it tastes. Pour that little juice on here. I said sometimes cooking it does improve it. Not always. Let's see how good this recipe is. And well, it's definitely better
Okay.
on the pork, yeah. By itself, it wasn't that great. It is better on the pork. Some of the sugars caramelize. That adds a little extra flavor. A lot of that vinegar taste is kind of cooked out. It's okay. Let's see. If I were to give it a rating from like Val's channel, I'd give it a thumbs up, but not like way up. Just a thumbs up. For Janice's channel, I'd probably say she would think this is maybe a B or a B plus. You know, it's good, but it definitely needs some improvement. And this polenta, outstanding flavor. Oh, yeah. And I really do think other people may not, but really that blue corn just makes a creamier texture. Really super good. All right, I'm going to hurry up and finish this. What time is it? Oh, I'm not going to have enough time. Oh, well. Among the other things I did today, also made raspberry filling and a batch of puff pastry dough to do some turnovers. And I don't know, if you guys feel like hanging out? The sauce isn't too bad. It does need a little improvement, but
Yeah, it's okay.
Could use more garlic. For a garlic sauce, it doesn't have a lot of garlic flavor.
Janice said they're not doing anything.
Oh, good. All right. Well, guess I'll set this aside.
And I was like, where would we go?
That is a good question. All right, well, great. I'm glad you all are inclined to hang out with O.G.I.C for a little while. That's awesome. Okay, just kind of get this wiped off a little bit. Wipe and dry, especially when you're working with flour. I don't want it sticking all over. Okay. Puff pastry. Yummy. Probably won't need much flour. I'll just set it over here.
Anna said blue corn is higher in protein and has more digestible form of starch than yellow corn. Maybe that's what makes it a better polenta?
That could be. That could very well be. All I know is I prefer it over the other corns, especially for that. I've never tried making corn bread with it. I made some cornbread for Thanksgiving, and a buddy of mine that came over, he can't have
For Halloween.
I'm sorry, yeah, for Halloween. He can't have gluten, and so I wanted cornbread to go with our chili. And most cornbread recipes call for a little bit of flour in them. So I used some of the flour that Janice sent me, some of the sweet corn rice flour, and some regular rice flour, and put that in place of ordinary flour. And I've never made a better cornbread. It turned out super good. It was super moist. It didn't crumble and fall away when you try to eat it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Fine Dining said, hey y'all, watching 2 live streams in one day is a record for us.
Well, hi, Fine Dining. Welcome. I mean, is there a name, or is just Fine Dining okay and with y'all? I mean, it's okay with me. But, if your name's
Late
Bob,
there,
say
fine.
Bob. Huh?
Late there.
Late? Yeah. It won't take me too long just to roll this thing out. If you haven't seen my puff pastry video, go ahead and watch it. It's not scary and it's not hard to make. It just takes a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. May not get it right the first time, but don't give up. I messed it up pretty bad first couple times. They didn't taste horrible.
No?
No, it was just like pie crust. But it didn't. There was no puff to it. All right. All right, we're just about big enough here. I want this puff pastry fairly thin. Maybe 1/8 of an inch, or no, a 1/16 of an inch. You want it pretty thin. If it's 1/8 of an inch thick, it's probably not going to bake through all the way, and the center will be still kind of doughy.
Fine Dining said Jen and Drew, but Fine Dining is easier because one of us is just yelling what the other one should be typing.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, welcome, Jen and Drew. And by the way, being new to your channel, I did enjoy watching the couple videos that I've seen so far. I look forward to looking at more. It's fun looking at some of the smaller groups, you know, like me and Crazy Dad and some of the other, you know, guys that, you know, don't even have 200 subscribers yet, you know. Just the little guys putzing along, you know, picking up a subscriber here, picking up a subscriber there. One drops off here, one drops off there. But I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it for the fun. All right, we're just about as big as I'm going to want here.
Crazy Dad says he likes to take the turkey liver and gizzards and grind them up and mix it in with the stuff.
Yep. A lot of people will do that. Add the giblets. Pretty soon I'll probably make a video of the dressing that I grew up with, the pork sage. Okay, that's about as big as I'm going to want it.
Val said he likes to eat the turkey giblets fried or grilled.
Mm-hmm. I could go with the like a fried or smoked liver. I don't mind, you know. At one of the places I was pitmaster at, we would smoke chicken livers just for the crew. They weren't for sale, but we'd smoke the chicken livers for the crew. Yummy. Now, let's see, did I pull that topping out? It's right here.
Fine Dining said, thanks so much. We're easily the tiniest channel of the little guys.
Well, I'm not very many subscribers in front of you, believe me. You know, so.
And Val said that they were all little guys at one point.
Yep. All right. So I'm just gonna roll a few squares here. Whoop. Caught that split in the wood. All right. I never cut them right. I'm always off. It's funny, I can measure my, well, what are they? Boy, I can't even think. The Danishes, they always kind of come out to the right size, but this, not so much. All right. Let me grab a cookie sheet.
Probably bumped the camera, I think.
Crash. All right. Gotta keep it up here. Make some turnovers. I quit buying these at the store altogether. To start with, all they ever have is apple or peach. Or no, apple and cherry. Yes. Apple and cherry. They never have any other flavors. And I like apple okay, and I like cherry okay, but they're not my favorites, especially when it comes to desserts. So we'll make a few of these here toy novas.
Val said close enough for government work, and then he says, you remember Clyde Crashcup?
Clyde Crashcup.
Crash Cup.
Crashcup. The name is familiar. Oh, I gotta get that off of there. The name is familiar. Kind of refresh my memory, Belle. If you would be so kind, sir. Get these filled. Oh, these are going to be good. I can tell you right now.
Janice said the man in the lab test coat, or the lab coat.
Man in the lab coat.
Question mark? Asking maybe Val.
Must have been. All right. Build a couple of more of these. A lot of times when I make these, I'll make like a couple of batches at a time. And I'll make a whole bunch of these and I'll just pop them in the freezer. You know, on a sheet tray, of course. Once they're frozen, put them into a bag, and then when we want one or two for dessert, pop it on in the old oven and have at it.
Uh-huh. Clyde was the scientist on Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Okay.
Let's say he made a lot of noise. Jenna said he had an assistant.
Okay. That kind of reminded me of Mr. Whoopi's 3D something or other board on Tennessee Tuxedo. Remember they'd go see Mr. Whoopi. What a name, huh? Wonder what kind of guy he really was. Mr. Whoopi. Okay.
Leonardo was his assistant. He just whispered, Val said. Fine Dining said, Alvin and the Chipmunks has one of the best Christmas songs of all. Of all time.
I have to agree with that. Because some of them are just so dumb, really. Especially ones that say, Christmas comes this time each year. Or something like that. No kidding.
Janice said that he used to invent things that had already been invented.
Nice. I have a tendency to do that.
Serial File loves Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas song. And Val said Venus J. Whipple and his 3D BB.
Right. Phineas J. Whipple and his 3D TV. Right? Is that what you said? 3D EDV TV. I love that. You know, Tennessee Tuxedo. You know, his sidekick Chumley. That's where I got my boy's name from. That's his namesake. All right, so there's 4 of them. That'll be good for, like, you know, right now. Get them popped in the oven. Already had that hot, 400 degrees, by the way. And so while they're cooking, let's see here. Set the old timer. I'm going to take about 20 minutes.
Fine Dining said Little St. Nick is the worst.
Yes, that's the one.
Perpetrator of Christmas comes this time each year.
You're absolutely right. That one and Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney also has a very similar line. Okay. So while those are baking, I'm just going to keep going on with these. I made a huge batch of filling, so tomorrow I'll have to make some more puff pastry and you know, get this filling used up. I don't want any of it to go to waste. It'll make a bunch. I'd say probably, I don't know, 30 of them, maybe more, before I'm done. It's a great way to save money. You know what's in it. No preserves.
Fine Dining says it's terrible, just like saying Tuesday comes this time each week.
Yes. Couldn't agree more. I like that. That's funny. Yeah. Some of the old cliches are just. In and out. Well, that's okay. You know, that's their job to keep us. You know, we keep physically fit because of our dogs. Up and down and up and down. In and out. It's not so bad in the summertime because we can leave our French doors open and the little patio door's got a doggy door. But hey, you know, this time of year it gets a bit expensive to heat the outside. So it's up and down. That's about the only exercise I get over the winter. That one didn't fold out too well, but it'll still work. Yeah. All different kinds. Later in the season, I'm going to make some pumpkin pie turnovers. I've never made them before, but I think they'll be delicious, especially served like with a little whipped cream on the top. Trying that. Last year, I went crazy on making the pumpkin pie souffles. Oh, they were so delicious.
Ballast. Any puppies left?
No more puppies. They all have homes. A couple of them are pretty local to us. And both of those puppies are, excuse me, going to be trained as service dogs for their owners and such. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In fact, we got to go visit one of them today, and it was great to see him and how much he had grown since we've seen him. He left us at 9 weeks, and I think it's been like 6 or 8 weeks since then. So it was good to see him. But we're hoping that we have more puppies to go by the spring. We will see. All depends on when Polly goes back into heat. We'll see. Don't know for sure. We sure learned a lot about puppies.
We sure did.
Never haven't had a litter of puppies before. That was something else. Alright. This one's a bit thick. I'm just going to roll it out a little bit more. There we go. The beauty of these, if it's a little bit thick, you can take a second, just make it a bigger one. Put in more filling.
Janice told Cereal File they just got Honey Kicks, Whiz Miss Cocoa Puffs, Apple Toast Crunch, and Caramel Apple Jacks.
Wow.
It's a lot of different kinds.
It is. Is it just me? Or who else here thinks that Apple Jacks does not taste like apples? I never thought Apple Jacks tasted like apples. I don't know why they call them that, but I never really thought they did. I liked the cereal. Don't get me wrong there. I thought it was a good cereal. I just never thought it tasted like apples. All right. Keep putting these on this tray. Crazy dogs barking at anything. I could see a leaf blowing down the street. Start barking at it. The only thing about making a bunch of these, it can be a little tedious. But once you're done, you got a whole bunch of them. You don't have to make them for quite a while. Well, depending on how many you eat at a time. Sometimes I'll go a little crazy and eat 2 or 3 at a time. I shouldn't do that. My waist is starting to catch up with me. Like I said, these that I'm making here, just going to pop them in the freezer. I can just stretch it a little. Stretch it. Christmas songs, yeah, and it's funny. we haven't even got to Halloween or Thanksgiving yet, but like the day after Halloween, you're seeing the stores start packing in the Christmas stuff. It's like, geez, you know, can't we wait and pretend there's a holiday in between?
Val said Apple Jacks taste like sugar and oats in that order. Jenna says it doesn't taste like apples, but it does have apples in it.
Well, if I were to get them onto the board, they'd get an innocent for that. Just because they don't taste like apples. There's some changes coming up with that, folks, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but coming up real soon. Okay. We're running down to these, and how much time's left? A little over 10 minutes. That won't be too long. Get these last few put together, and I'll make a little frosting. Or, yeah, a little frosting drizzle for the top. Wouldn't be complete without that frosting drizzle, you know, like on cinnamon rolls and whatnot. Oops. Come on, filling. That one almost got away from me. I had a really fun time making this little video earlier today. I was watching Val's live stream, but I was also making this turkey ball challenge. And it's a tough challenge, really. 15 meatballs in 5 minutes, and you gotta, you know, there's different sauces and whatnot. It was a good and very difficult challenge. And Tim, if I had my hat on, I'd take it off and tip my hat to you, because that's a pretty tough challenge. My suggestion is not going to be homemade. Go store-bought on them. There are reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Oh, phone's ringing. 10 minutes. I bet that's my son again.
It is.
That's okay. He don't know that I'm kind of going over. Oh, I'm starting to smell them. What's going on here?
Okay.
Nope. Good. Sometimes they start getting away from me. What did he have to say? Is he watching?
Doug
Ah.
likes the additional instructional something. Now I forgot.
Oh, the additional instructions on the.
Yes.
Well, you're welcome, Doug. My brother apparently tried to make himself some turnovers, and he, I guess they didn't turn out quite as good as he thought they might, or
So
wanted.
now you gave the extra.
So I gave the little extra tutorial here for it. So hopefully it'll help, Doug. All right.
Val says, I thought you meant turkey testicles.
Oh yeah, turkey balls. Yeah. No, just a catchy name. Just a catchy name. Okay. Almost got it. Not many left. They ain't gotta look pretty, they just gotta taste good. Set this up here. Hopefully it won't go crashing to the floor. 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 more. Okay. So how many of you do a regular, like, I guess traditional Thanksgiving dinner with like turkey and mashed potatoes and the sweet potatoes that are, you know, done up with marshmallows and, and whatnot, you know, pumpkin pie. What else is traditional? The green beans and mushroom soup with the French's onion things on the top. What else? Oh, the cranberry sauce that comes from a can. And you just put it on the plate and leave it in the shape of the can. I don't know how many times I saw that in our house.
Cereal File said that she just recorded the apple pie cinnamon toast crunch.
Ooh. Apple pie cinnamon toast crunch. Did it taste like apple? I mean, did it taste more like apple than Apple Jacks? Because we know that Apple Jacks don't taste like apple, even though they have apple in it, which really doesn't make sense to me.
Val said that he grew up in New England, so it's kind of a requirement.
I would bet. Yep, it's all about location, location, location. Yep. We grew up with the pork sage dressing. That's what I had. Tried other kinds over the years.
Jenna said the canned cranberry sauce has those convenient cutting lines.
They do. So you know just how thick of a slice you're going to get.
And Jenna said the apple pie toast crunch tastes like apple pie.
Hey. Well, that's a surprise. Okay. Last one. That didn't take terribly long. My burner's cooled down, so I can just... Actually, I'm going to give this one to you, Mrs. O.G.I.C, if you'd stick that in the freezer. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll put this one in this freezer. Couple hours. Ziploc bag. This one really ain't gonna make one. I can make something out of it, but maybe a little bit later. 5 minutes left, so we're coming up quick. Grab the grab the old cornstarch. Not cornstarch. Powdered sugar. Bit of difference between powdered sugar and cornstarch. Although powdered sugar has cornstarch in it.
Fine Dining said the snoozeberries taste like snoozeberries. Snozberries?
Snozberries? Yeah, snozberries taste like snozberries. I remember that. Captain. Aye, Captain. All right.
Trippy's fruit, or Val said the cranberries come from Cape Cod, used to anyway. Or
Yeah.
used to.
I remember seeing the Ocean Spray commercials back in the day where they show the guy out in the water with the rake and, you know, what, maybe ankle deep or thigh deep water. Some silly commercial. I don't remember it exactly now.
Jenna said the wallpaper tastes like snozberries too.
Wallpaper schnozberry. All right. Also, I am going to kind of run out of suggestions on for Saturday night fry ups or cook ups or whatever. So please, drop forth some suggestions to my lovely assistant Margot. So Mrs. Old Guy can write those down, and then I can kind of get to them. Done some good ones. It's just about right. That'll work. Question is, did I get my puff pastry right? Is the pastry actually puffy? I'm gonna find out. The mystery will be answered in like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We'll see how good these have turned out. I hope they have turned out good. Hey, I don't always get it right. Doesn't take a lot to turn puff pastry into pie crust. So.
Val said that's how they harvest them. They flood the box and use wooden boxes with cones to gather the cranberries floating in the water.
Awesome. Well, I knew there had to be a reason.
And then Val said, what's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen with what?
Something you said probably. I don't know.
Oh, trying to keep track of what I said isn't always a good thing.
Probably your frosting. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. The frosting. See, Mrs. Old Guy. That's why you're here. No, I'm pretty sure that was it. Val will say if you're wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're right. Makes most sense to me. See, that's why I have you along.
Yeah. Doubtful that. The puff pastry.
Oh, 44, yes, well, the puff pastry, yes. Well, we'll see how good it did. I've messed it up before, but we'll see. In just a few more seconds now, 30 seconds. You can feel the tension building, the suspense. Everybody, is being quiet, not really typing anything. Everybody's holding their breath, turning Smurf blue, waiting to see how these turn out. Are y'all turning Smurf blue out there? Well, you can all take a breath now. There's that beat. Take a peek. They may not be done. They may be. Oh my goodness. Yee. Plenty hot. Let me grab another one. Walk over this way here.
Fine Dining said this is the most dramatic thing ever.
It's, coming to you live, unedited. The drama will just, nail biting, gripping. It turned out great. Look at that. It puffed up. Beautiful.
Val said, green.
It puffed up beautifully. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's nice. That's real nice. Or as Banachek used to say, I love it when a plan comes together. Anybody remember that show, Banachek, with old George Papard? Anybody remember that show, Banachek? All right.
Janice said those look delicious.
Oh, they're gonna be delicious. Oh, Little pastry action here. If you haven't seen my puff pastry video and you want to take a shot at it, if you've never made puff pastry, give it a try. It's really not hard. Just takes a little bit of time. Look at that. All right, I gotta finish showing off the dessert here, and I'll give it to Mrs. Old Guy.
Janice said that Banachek was a great detective.
He was. Look at that. Oh, the delicious. Yeah. You're not going to get any better at a bakery, that's for sure.
And I know these are still going to be like raging hot to eat. Let's see, shut this off.
Yeah. Val said, was that on with McLeod and Columbo?
No, I mean it was in that same time era, but he was had his own show. It was a weekly show, I believe, kind of like A-Team and that kind of detective show, or Cannon, if you remember Canyon. Was that guy William Conrad?
Yeah.
For those of you that do not know, William Conrad was the original voice of the Lone Ranger back in the old radio show days. Bit of useless trivia. All right, let's try.
Would be hot.
Mm. Wunderbar.
Janice said, although Mannix was better.
What was better?
Mannix.
Mannix? Yeah, Mannix was a good show too.
Cannon was the largest detective.
He was. Cannon was definitely the bigger guy. Of course, in that same 70s era, there was also Bookum Dano, Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. In fact, when I had my pizza place, I had a pizza called the Hawaii 5-0, right? And underneath it said Bookum Dano. So, yeah. I remember that show. Then it's some of the 80s shows like Hill Street Blues. That was a great cop show.
Val said that he thinks that William Conrad used to narrate Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I think he did. I'm almost positive of that. And Wally Cox was the voice of Underdog. If any, for those of you that don't know Wally Cox, he was on the Hollywood Squares for a while. Always had this kind of weird hat and glasses and a mustache. Older guy. Anyway. All right. Well, I think I'm going to think about wrapping this up. I appreciate everybody hanging out a little extra long tonight. I had a lot of fun. Next week, I'll have something else. I really am not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to look through the list of suggestions. Any last minute ones before we go, please pop them out there so Mrs. Old Guy can write them down. Sweet to savory, whatever you guys come up with. You know, it's holiday season, so special treats that y'all make yourselves or whatever. Yeah, share the wealth.
Val said the streets of San Francisco with young Michael Douglas.
Oh yes, and Carl Potato Nose Malden.
And Mr. Peepers.
Mr.
Peepers.
Mr. Peepers.
And Janice said, thanks for the fun evening.
Well, Janice, I appreciate you coming. Same with everybody. I appreciate my new subscribers and my new watchers. It's honestly nice to have you in, and I appreciate you coming into my house every Saturday night and hanging out with Old Guy. I'm going to ask you, like I always do, please take just 5 minutes, an hour, whatever. help a neighbor, help a friend, go down to the nearby soup kitchen and volunteer to do some work, wash some dishes, whatever. Get out and help a neighbor, okay? In the meantime, everybody take care of yourselves. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.